Hello, sensational second graders, and welcome to English 2 for Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. Today's lesson is a practice page. We're looking at pages 285 to 286. You can get those out in front of you if you'd like while we review. Boys and girls, we've been working a lot with sentences, the parts of the sentences, and what they are. So boys and girls, why do you think it is important to use clear sentences? Sonia, why is it important to use clear sentences? That's right. We want people to understand what we say and write. So a good sentence tells something that the reader or listener will understand. The words we use and the order of our words help us to write good sentences. Christians can use their words to tell other people about Jesus and his gifts of salvation. Now, boys and girls, with that being said, Jackson, can you tell me what is a sentence? That's right. It's a group of words that is a complete thought. And Emma, can you tell me what do sentences always begin with? They always begin with a capital letter. That's good. So sentences are a group of words that forms a complete thought. They always start with a capital letter. And Max, can you tell me what sentences end with? That's right, a punctuation mark. They don't always end with a period. They end with whatever punctuation mark goes with the type of sentence. So let's go ahead then, boys and girls, and look at fragments. What is a fragment and how is it different than a sentence? Caesar. That's right. A fragment is a group of words that is not a complete thought. What's the new name that we learned for the verb part of the sentence? The verb part of the sentence, remember sentences have two parts. They have a subject part and the verb part is the predicate part. Good job, boys and girls. Let's go ahead then and remember that there are two kinds of verbs that we can use in the predicate part, the action verb and the linking verb. What do action verbs do? They tell what the subject does. Good job. All right, so if I said the room is cold, can you tell me, is there an action verb in this sentence? The room is cold, Sean? Is there an action there? No action in the room is cold. Since there isn't an action verb, we need to look for a linking verb. Do you remember what the linking verbs are? The linking verbs are is and are. Is and are, was and were. Linking verbs. Boys and girls, what do we call the main word or words in the subject part of the sentence? The main word or words in the subject part of the sentence is the subject. Good job. And the subject can be a noun or a pronoun. It's the main word or words in the subject part. What is the subject of the sentence, the room is cold? Tino. Room. Room is the subject in the sentence, the room is cold. Is the word room a noun or a pronoun? It's a noun. Why? Why is the word room a noun? Kylie. It names a place. Very good. So the word room in the sentence, the room is cold, is the subject because it is a noun and it names the place. The place is the room. So let's go ahead then and take a look at our pages. Today we're going to practice all the things we've learned, the sentences, the subject part, the predicate part, and we're going to go ahead and get going with that. So go ahead and get your papers in front of you. Have a pencil ready. We're going to get started. All right, good morning again, boys and girls. Here I am. I have our paper ready and we're going to get started. So looking at your paper, it should look just like mine. Numbers 1 through 3, our directions say we need to match the subject part with the predicate part. Boys and girls, if the subject part of the sentence is Joe, what predicate part is going to go with Joe? Is it going to be Joe is God's word? No, that doesn't make any sense. So let's go ahead then and we'll do Joe. What works there? Bradley. Joe read the Bible at church. Well, that would work. But what would be better would be Joe asks his friend to church. Joe asks his friend to church. Because as you do number 2, Eva and Zach can't ask his friend to church, but they can read the Bible at church. All right, good job. So we need to make sure we double check each subject part with the predicate part so we pick the best answers. All right, I'm gonna let you do number 3 on your own. Let's go ahead and look at finding the predicate part by looking for the verb. So we have to, for numbers 4, 5, and 6, we have to circle the action verb and draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. So everyone circle where it says circle and draw a line between subject part and predicate part. We're going to do number 4 together, and then we're going to go on to the next section. Boys and girls, I'm going to do just the first one of each section for you for these 2 pages, and then you can stop the video if you'd like and work on your own. And if you want to do them with me, then just stay tuned and we'll go ahead and finish them together. Okay, so let's look. The little rabbit sleeps in a nest in the ground. Boys and girls, the little rabbit sleeps in a nest in the ground. What is the action verb? Sleeps. Very good. And we would draw our line between the subject part and the predicate part. And where is the predicate part and the subject part split? JJ. Very good. Between rabbit and sleeps. So you'll draw your line there. And then we're going to do the next section. The next section is circle the linking verb, draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. So everyone circle linking verb and draw your line between subject part and predicate part. So remember, linking verbs are, is and are, was and were. The 2 boys were hungry. What is the linking verb there? Quincy? That's right, were. Everyone circle the word were. And then we're going to draw our line between the subject part and the predicate part, which is where, Reagan? That's right, between boys and were. Okay, you'll do the next numbers 9, 10, and 11 on your own. Turn your paper over. And we're going to circle the verb and draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part and underline the subject. So go ahead and circle where it says circle the verb. Let's circle the verb. And we'll draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part, and we will underline the subject. So the verb in our God gives homes to people. What is the verb there? What's something you can do? Giovanni. The verb is gives. Very good. Everyone circle gives. We have to draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. And where would we do that, Sierra? That's right, between God and gives. And we'll underline the subject. And our subject there is who? Who or what gives? God. Good job. All right, moving on to the next section, we have to complete the sentence with the subject from the word bank. Adeline, let's do number 1. The blank ran out to the playground. The butterfly ran out to the playground? No, that doesn't make any sense. What makes sense there, Adeline? That's right, the class. The class ran out to the playground. Okay, and then boys and girls, now you can stop the video. You can go back and finish the paper on your own. And if you want to do it with me, then just stay tuned. Bye. Okay, the people who didn't need me are gone. And if you're here, it's just because you wanted to work with me a little longer. So let's take a look. Number 3 is the Bible is our subject part. And the predicate part would be what, Valentina? The Bible is God's word. Excellent. Moving on. We had to circle the action verb, draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. So let's circle our action verb, and his horse eats hay in the barn. The action there is eats. Boys and girls, can we eat? That's our action. So we're going to circle it and then drawing our line between subject part and predicate part. Who or what eats? The horse. So we're going to draw our line right there between horse and eats. Moving on, eagles live in nests on high rocks. What is the action there? The action is live. Circle live and separate your sentence between who or what lives. The eagles live. Everyone's going to draw your line between eagles and live. Then we're going to move on to a gray mouse builds a nest in the wall. So what do? They build. So builds is our action. Who or what builds? The mouse, the gray mouse. Very good. Second graders, moving on. Circle the linking verb and draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. We have the teacher is tall. What is our linking verb? Is. Circle is. Draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. Who is? The teacher is. Draw that line. Now we have they are happy. Linking verbs are is and are. So what's our linking verb there? Are. And who are? They are. The day was warm. What's our linking verb there? Was. Who or what was? The day was. All right, second grade, good work. Turn the paper over. We're going to circle the verb, draw a line between the subject part and the predicate part. And then we're going to underline the subject. So we have Jacob lived in a tent. What's the action there? The verb is lived. Circle lived. Who or what lived? Jacob. And so we're going to separate our sentence right between Jacob and lived, right? Separate the subject part from the predicate part. David built a palace. What's the action there? Built. Who or what built? David built. Separate the subject from the predicate. Daniel prayed near the window of his house. The action there is, that's right, it's prayed. And who or what prayed? Daniel prayed. Good job. Noah's family stayed in the ark for many days. Who or what stayed? Or I'm sorry, that tells you who, right? Noah's family. So family is our subject. Mrs. Mueller made a mistake there, guys. We're supposed to find the verb first. So stayed is the verb because we can stay. And then we're going to separate our sentence, right? Good job, second graders. We're almost done. We already did class. Let's cross that out. And then one blank landed on Miss Jones. Well, what do you think the answer is? One toad or one butterfly or one it? We'll have to find out. It's going to be one, well, if we said one toad, then let's see what the next sentence is and see if that would work. A butterfly hopped from a bush. Do butterflies hop? No, toad would be better there. So let's put butterfly here. Okay, butterfly landed on Mrs. Jones. And a toad hopped from a bush. Blank was brown and bumpy. What was? It was. Okay, second graders, that's it for our English for today. If you have any questions at all, you can let me know when we talk. I want you to have a great day. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time for English. Bye.